Hi, it's Tilly, and I'm coming to you from my cell phone. You know why? Because my laptop cord doesn't work anymore. Yeah, I'm done crying about it, and I realize that I am overly dependent on a piece of machinery, and that is bad. I can still make videos using this phone. I find that the scariest thing about my computer not working, which I'm sure that I'll be able to sort it out and somehow get either another cord or get it fixed. I don't know. I'm sure eventually it will be okay. But mostly I just worry about like the videos here on YouTube. Like, I want to always be able to make these, upload them, and watch other people's, because it's really important to my healing. And I don't know, I kind of did something that I realized I kind of understand now what this means, right? I've heard the word catastrophizing several times, like in the last week or so, right? In relation to PTSD. And when you kind of like look up complex post-traumatic stress disorder online, a lot of times that is a symptom that is listed as being especially prevalent in complex versus non-complex. I don't know about all that, but I had heard someone say recently that people with PTSD make a mountain out of a molehill, and, you know, that they overreact to everything, and, you know, everything is just the end of the world, and that, you know, they're extremely hard to deal with because of that. And I was really offended when I heard that. But I've thought about it, and that was a while ago. That was like maybe a month ago. I've thought about it a little, and I think that I know what that person was referring to, and I think that they had good intentions in what they were saying, but I think it would have been a little better for them to have referred to it as catastrophizing, because that's what that is. So what it is our tendency to react emotionally with great emotion and you know, get very accelerated very easily in response to events going on in our world, and, you know, assuming the worst will happen, assuming that a situation is way worse than it actually is. Those are, and assuming that the future is just blah, like there's no hope. Those are a few commonly noted forms of catastrophizing. But there's another one that I think that we have in PTSD sometimes, and that is just responding to like every conflict or disappointment as if it is as if it's the end of the world, like I just said that person said that offended me. No, I don't mean it like that. Reacting with the same intensity as we would to our trauma, okay? So basically, yeah, it's a cognitive distortion, but it's a symptom, and it's a symptom of PTSD, okay? We can't really help it a lot of times until we've come to the point in our healing where we understand what catastrophizing is, and acknowledge and identify when we are doing it, which is a hard one, because nobody really wants to say when they're in the heat of something that they feel is like ground shaking, earth shattering stuff going on, nobody really wants to go, okay, I see where I'm reacting to this event in a very hyper emotional way, and it may or may not be as bad as I am understanding it to be right now. So I need to, step back and, take a step back and look at, the whole situation. I've been told by therapists before that I'm really good at being able to see my own distortions and whatnot pretty clearly, and I can see them, and I start working on them right when I realize they're there. Sorry. No, I'm not. And I'm kind of surprised, I guess, that I haven't really ever gotten this connection, but I tend to really notice things when especially if it's like a word that I hear a whole bunch of times that I never usually hear. Like, I usually kind of take that as like a sign from the universe to look further into it, because there's like maybe a message there. You know what I'm saying? I know that's new agey kind of thinking to an extent. I don't know. It's just the way that I think right now, so. But, and I've, even looking back through my videos, whoopsies, there were a few times, particularly I'm thinking over this past summer with my situation with my sister, I was like I felt like the world was crumbling around me. I felt like it was absolutely, positively, no question, she's being abused, she's got it, we've got to save her, I've got to save her, it's all on my hand, on my shoulders, and, I have to be the one to act, and I was driving myself crazy. And you know what? It turned out that, she's been being physically violent with him, and was back then, too. And I didn't know that. So, somehow I missed that, because I was so focused on, I know what's happening. Why did I think I know what was happening? Because it's happened to me, and it was part of my trauma. So, I really did just lose it, in some ways. I mean, luckily I've been able to not really totally lose it. I have not had to be hospitalized yet, and I say yet, hopefully never, because I think that I'm over the worst of my PTSD, I hope. And it's not as common that I actually feel suicidal. That's one thing I can say about my medications, is that without medications, I already, before my traumas, I had the tendency to get suicidal when my hormones fluctuated, or my mood fluctuated, or whatever. I would, and I would also self-harm like crazy. I haven't self-harmed in, I don't know, it'll be, I think, a year in like March or April. So, oh yeah, that's like a month or two away. Cool. Yeah, wow, that's a pretty good running streak for me, huh? But without medication, I do know that I'm kind of imbalanced in that way, which is part of why I'm a little on the fence about, I'm really wanting to make some positive changes in my life, and I'm kind of feeling like my medications are really, really holding me back, But yet they are keeping me from getting to that point of being suicidal. And it's really scary when you get there, because there's like this fine line in your thinking, and once you cross that line, you're dangerous. And it's very hard to even control yourself. You know? So, I found that, at least. And I've also had episodes of dissociative cutting, which is scary. This last thing that I did to myself, which was the last time I think that I ever cut, there's 3 really big keloid scars on over my heart, and I had dissociated. When I dissociated, I grabbed something and I did that to myself, and only when I realized there's blood everywhere, holy shit, what'd I do? You know, it didn't hit me. It took forever to hit me, because I was not mentally present. I had just gone into this place, this dark place, you know? And that was around the time, you know, there were things going on then, too. But anyway, I guess I just wanted to talk about catastrophizing, because my laptop cord broke, and I cried really hard, and I got really, really mad and upset, and, like, I started making sweeping generalizations, like, this is just a metaphor for my life. And I was texting a friend, and I was like, you know, this is just, what did I say? Something fucking stupid, and I realized afterwards that it sounded so childish, and, like, you know, like, really, just very, just non-grateful for all the other things that I have in life, you know? Sure, it's frustrating, and yeah, it might make a person kind of sad and upset that their laptop cord stopped working, and they can't use their laptop for a while, but it doesn't need to be a metaphor for my entire life. You know what I'm saying? I started thinking, I went from that to looking around the room, to thinking about all the things I need and don't have, and then I started thinking about, well, this theme in my life, just things, big things just suddenly getting, you know, swept out from under me, or pulled out from under me. Yeah, okay, metaphorically speaking, that might be a little bit valid, but the truth is, this is just a laptop cord, okay? You're gonna be fine. You know? So, I'm feeling calmer about it. I'm still really kind of anxious a little, and kind of upset about it, and I don't know. I have a friend, a very close friend, who's an electrician, and I don't know, he might be able to help me a little bit. I don't know. It'll, you know, I prayed about it. It'll work itself out. It's a material thing. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things. I'm very thankful, too, that I have this phone, even though it doesn't take the best video, so I have to be right in front of a really bright light, which is giving me a freaking headache. Anyway, I hope this uploads right, but, those are my wise words for the day. Wish me luck on the laptop cord. Namaste.